Hello and welcome. I am Kambe with the morning edition of MBC News. Coming up this morning. Visiting President of Mozambique, Dr. Filipe Nyusi, hails bilateral relations between his country and Malawi. Presidents Chakwera and Filipe Nyusi to open the 20th National Agricultural Fair at Chichiri Trade Fair Grounds in Blantyre this morning. And the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change recommend a reasonable increase in fuel prices. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. President of Mozambique, Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, has hailed the relationship that exists between his country and Malawi, which he said is already benefiting people of the two nations. Dr. Nyusi made the remarks in Zomba when the University of Malawi conferred him an honorary degree of Doctor of Philosophy in International Affairs and Diplomacy. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, as the Chancellor of the University of Malawi, presided over the ceremony, and Austin Kashbea reports.
The University of Malawi, UNIMA, has recognized President Filipe Nyusi's relentless efforts for effective and lasting peace, strengthening bilateral relations and trade, among others. Chairperson of the Council for the University of Malawi, Dr. Christopher Guta, says President Nyusi deserves the award because he has contributed a lot to the socio-economic development of many nations, including Malawi.
By conferring the honorary degree to His Excellency Filipe Nyusi, the President of the Republic of Mozambique, therefore, we are not only recognizing his outstanding achievements, but also expressing our university's deepest gratitude for his service to people in his country, our SADC region, and beyond. We are also affirming our university's commitment to preparing future generations of leaders who will emulate President Nyusi's footprints by carrying forward the torch of international cooperation and diplomacy. Your achievements, President Nyusi, sir, are a testament to the power of visionary leadership, perseverance, and compassion.
Speaking during the event, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, who is Chancellor of the University of Malawi, described President Filipe Nyusi as an extraordinary leader, champion, and beacon of hope for humanity. Dr. Chakwera says this prestigious award is also a celebration of cordial relations between Malawi and Mozambique. The Malawi leader adds that as a result of Dr. Nyusi's leadership, Malawi and Mozambique regularly sign memorandum of understandings to work together in various sectors of economy, from climate change to pandemics, economic inequality to conflict resolution, from security to trade, among others. He says President Nyusi has the interest of Malawi at heart.
It is a celebration of the new chapter in cordial relations between Malawi and Mozambique, to which President Nyusi's leadership has been most instrumental. As such, in giving him this recognition, we acknowledge that the journey towards deeper cooperation, mutual understanding, and collective prosperity that Malawi and Mozambique have enjoyed in the past 4 years is a huge milestone. Even though our countries have shared a common border, culture, and geography for decades, that affinity and proximity have not always translated into warm relations between our countries and our peoples. It took President Nyusi's leadership to challenge and change all that. It took his prowess in diplomacy to recognize that with new administration in Malawi, an opportunity to transform the relationship between our countries had emerged and needed to be leveraged and maximized to change the diplomatic status quo between our countries. As a result of his leadership in this regard, Malawi and Mozambique now regularly stand together in times of plenty and need alike.
In his acceptance speech, President Dr. Nyusi expressed his gratitude to the University of Malawi for recognizing his achievements, saying on behalf of his family and the Mozambique people, they are humbled with the gesture.
Este ato é ato que nos faz lembrar da importância do que juntos fizemos na área da diplomacia e relações internacionais, sobretudo no relacionamento entre os nossos países, com vista a viabilizar a implementação da nossa agenda coletiva de desenvolvimento.
This is an act that reminds us of the importance of what we have achieved together in the area of international relations and diplomacy, particularly in the strengthening of the relationship between our countries with a view to enabling the implementation of our collective development agenda.
Under Dr. Nyusi's leadership, Mozambique was unanimously elected in 2022 to serve as one of the non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. Malawi and Mozambique have signed several bilateral agreements, including on energy.
President Chakwera and his Mozambican counterpart, Dr. Filipe Nyusi, will open the 20th National Agriculture Fair at Chichiri Trade Fair grounds in Blantyre this morning. A statement from the Office of the President and Cabinet says President Chakwera and President Nyusi are expected to arrive at the venue any time from now. Meanwhile, 170 companies and organizations are participating in this year's 20th Agriculture Fair. Director of Membership Development at Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industries, MCCCI, Wezi Mungoni, says this is a boost from last year. Our reporter, Secret Segula, looks ahead of the fair.
Malawi is an agro-based economy, hence strategies to improve the agriculture sector are of paramount importance to enable the country to grow economically. One of the strategies that the country is implementing is the ATM strategy that is focusing on socio-economic growth through agriculture, tourism and mining. The strategy is aimed at enhancing productivity within these sectors and complement the role of agriculture in earning foreign exchange and driving growth. This year's 20th Agriculture Fair, which will be held under the theme Driving Towards Export-Oriented Agriculture through Commercialization and Innovation, has come at the right time as it complements what the ATM strategy stipulates. Director of Membership Development at Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industries, MCCCI, Wezi Mungoni, says this theme focuses on exporting products and food security whilst achieving the 2063 aspirations.
So this theme was chosen as we drive towards achievement of the 2063 pillars of agriculture, where we are trying to move away from subsistence farming so that our agricultural sector can now focus on producing more so that we can go commercial and also export to other countries as well, so that it also helps with the trade balance.
Mungoni further says this year's fair has attracted a lot of players and improved from last year, where only 116 participated. She has since assured Malawians that all is set and encouraged them to patronize the fair.
Preparations are going on very well. We have had such a tremendous response from the industry. As compared to last year, we can say that we have beaten the number of pavilions that we had for last year with over 40. So I must say that it's gone on very well. We have organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and tried to bring in most of the players in the agricultural value chain. Yeah.
Over 170 pavilions have been elected at the trade fair. The Agriculture Fair has been organized by Ministry of Agriculture in partnership with MCCCI. Secret Segula, MBC News, Blantyre.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has congratulated the Malawi Under-19 women's cricket team for clinching ICC Under-19 T20 World Cup sub-region qualifiers. The junior cricket team registered 6 wins out of 6 of their 6 fixtures in Rwanda. Amin Musa has a report.
In a statement released by State House earlier on Wednesday, the first couple commended the girls for their hard work and dedication. The first couple says they are confident that the team will continue making Malawians proud and potentially qualify to the Under-19 T20 World Cup, which will be hosted in Malaysia next year. Malawi Under-19 cricket team finished top of the 7-teamed table with maximum of 12 points after winning all the fixtures against Kenya, Mozambique, Botswana, Eswatini, Sierra Leone and Lesotho and qualified to the next round. Meanwhile, Malawi National Council of Sports says it is happy that Malawi is raising its flag through sports such as cricket. Dr. Henry Kamata is the council's chief executive officer.
Their achievement, it's a big plus for this nation. I want you to remember to note this. The last edition of that was in 2022, and Malawi played 6 games, lost 5, won 1. This time, the same number of games, we've beaten everybody. Now we are the champions. We are going for the next qualifier too in September.
Malawi has now joined the continental cricket's heavyweights such as Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Rwanda, Uganda and Tanzania in Division 1. Amin Musa, MBC Sport, Blantyre.
Malawi's Vice President Dr. Michael Usi has called on representatives from the least developed countries, LDCs, to intensify their efforts in addressing the global challenge of climate change. Speaking at the LDC's strategy and ministerial meeting in Lilongwe, Dr. Usi urged delegates to unite ahead of the 29th session of the Conference of the Parties COP29 scheduled to take place in Baku, Azerbaijan. Mark Donald Shuaila has a report.
Speaking during the meeting, Dr. Usi urged the delegates to rise to the occasion and tackle what he described as the most pressing issues of our time, climate change and its impacts on vulnerable countries. Dr. Usi stated that this is not just a challenge for individual nations, but a global crisis that requires collective action and solidarity. He further emphasized that climate change continues to wreak havoc, causing suffering for millions across the globe, hence the need to intensify pleas to donor countries with numerous commitments still unfulfilled.
There's need for prescription, that is meeting the promises. There's need for compliance. There's need for review, the follow-ups, and way forward. All these are programmatic issues. So it's like there is excitement in promising, excitement in receiving the promises, excitement in meeting, but there should be, quantifiable outcomes. And then we should be able to say, we met in COP28 in Dubai. Before going to COP29, there should be a press conference, tell Malawians what we gained, what we lost. That is the voice that we should carry as Malawi. That's the voice that Burkina Faso should carry. That when we go there, we are not tourists. We are going there carrying people that are vulnerable, people that are dying in hospitals, children that cannot go to school.
In her remarks, the United Nations Development Programme UNDP resident representative Fenella Frost concurred with Vice President Dr. Michael Usi on the need for a unified voice in presenting the LDC's challenges at the upcoming global platform on climate change.
We are, very committed both here in Malawi, but also through my brother and sister representatives in the other LDCs that are here present and also following online to continue to support that critical action and that critical united voice. Perhaps just in terms of the blockages of financing, I think that the reality is that the globe is struggling. Not only is climate change affecting LDCs, but also it's an impact across the world. We know also that there are global crises that are affecting the globe, both the continuing challenges in Ukraine, but also obviously other crises across the globe. And so that's why it's very important to unlock this financing, that there is this very clear, strong, united voice from the LDC group.
Speaking virtually, UNFCCC COP29 President-designate Mukhtar Babayev, who is also Azerbaijan's Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources, urged the LDCs to build on the momentum, stressing that it is critical for developed countries to accelerate action on climate finance that is accessible for all, especially for the most vulnerable. The ministerial meeting follows a two-day LDCs Group on Climate Change Strategy meeting, which has drawn participants from 45 least developed countries across the globe. McDonald Shwaira, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Abale Kambe. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories this morning. Visiting President of Mozambique, Dr. Filipe Nyusi, hails bilateral relations between his country and Malawi. Presidents Chakwera and Filipe Nyusi to open the 20th National Agriculture Fair at Chichiri Trade Fair Grounds in Blantyre this morning. And the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change recommend a reasonable increase in fuel prices. Welcome back. Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change has proposed that Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority MERA should adjust fuel prices reasonably in order to recover accumulated levies. Chairperson of the committee, Werani Chilenga, made the remarks in Parliament when he presented a report on issues surrounding importation of fuel and levy collection in the country. Olive Piri has a report.
Presenting the report in the House, Chairperson of the Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change, Werani Chilenga, said his committee noted that due to an unlimited of fuel levies, institutions that benefit from the collection are struggling to discharge their mandate. Chilenga said the committee also noted that since palm price is lower than cost of importation, suppliers are using the same levies to supplement working capital to sustain their operations. Chilenga said in order to deal with all these issues, there is need for MERA to adjust price of fuel, but was quick to advise MERA to consider the hardships that Malawians are already facing when making the new prices.
When we say accordingly, we mean that they should adjust not for making profits, but to adjust by making sure that fuel is available in this country. They should just break even to make sure that by the end of the day, this country has good sustainability of fuel.
Member of Parliament for Zomba Ntonya, who is also leader of United Democratic Front UDF, Ned Poya, was against the idea of raising fuel prices, saying the country's economy need to be revamped further.
As a representative of the people and the people that are suffering, I will be very hesitant to support this report of raising fuel in this country because of the problems that Malawians are facing.
Member of Parliament for Nchisi South, Uremichira Bondwa, supported the call by the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, saying it is high time the prices were raised to conform with neighboring countries.
I was actually balancing the situation of having raised the price of fuel versus that of fuel scarcity. We have seen all of us in the country, when there's no fuel, people run around buying from black markets at higher prices, as high as 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 per liter of fuel. And the country comes to a standstill when there is a problem of fuel. So this is why I feel that the reasonable rising of cost of fuel will actually prevent the country from becoming dry in as far as fuel is concerned.
Meanwhile, the House has been adjourned to Thursday morning, starting from 9:30. Maya Soji Kadzula, MBC News, Parliament, Lilongwe.
The tobacco growing community at Kabwafu in Mzimba has commended government for facilitating better tobacco prices this year. Matthews Mwale of Diasi Estates was speaking at Chiweko Primary School in the area when one of the senior members of the Malawi Congress Party held a development meeting. Chimwemi Milulu has the details.
Matthews Mwale is one of the tobacco farmers at Kabwafu in Mzimba district. He says the 2023-2024 tobacco selling season has brightened his life as a farmer, as his tobacco has fetched the best prices in 20 years.
We benefit a lot. And if you could compare the prices of previous years in 27, 29, 2010, up to 2015. As of now, with the readership, the good readership, what we have today, now we are rejoicing. Because it's like a surplus to score $300, $3.20, $3.50, $3.60 and above.
Speaking during a development meeting at Chibeko Primary School ground in Enchisweni ward in Mzimba West, one of the senior members of the Malawi Congress Party MCP, who is also Minister of Defense, Haren Kandawire, said government has put in place deliberate policies to uplift livelihoods of poor resource households, including farmers.
The president is aware that poverty exists in the rural areas. So he's come up with a deliberate policy to make sure that the rural people, they should produce and make profits. You have seen it for yourselves. The cost of soya now, people are making as much as 1,300 kwacha per kilo. A few years ago, the same kilo, you would get about 200 kwacha. Talk about ground nuts. People are making money. We have seen people buying vehicles because of selling ground nuts. Talk about tobacco. This is a tobacco area. Lots of people here, almost everybody grows tobacco. People appreciate. I think you have heard from the chiefs there. They are saying for the first time they have seen people making money in the rural area. And that's what we want.
Speaking area, MCP Regional Chairman for North-South, Joseph Chavula, called for unity among all members of the party, regardless of the camps that were created prior to its convention. He further said the party will focus on supporting the party's incumbent members of parliament in all areas, while strategizing to strengthen the party in the region. During the meeting, Nkandawire presented prizes to football and netball teams that participated in a bonanza. Chimwemwe Milulu, MBC News, Mzimba.
Over 2,000 school-going girls in Mangochi are expected to benefit from a menstrual health hygiene management project courtesy of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, Adra, Malawi. We have a report.
There was joy and jubilation at the MCP office in Mzuzu when 50 AFORD members were joining the Malawi Congress Party. Leader of the group, who is former AFORD National Deputy Director of Youth, Lapken Tindwa, said they want to support Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to accomplish his development agenda.
It's about development. It's about focus.
50 Alliance for Democracy AFORD office bearers in Mzuzu have joined the Malawi Congress Party MCP. Former AFORD National Deputy Director of Youth, Lapken Tindwa, said the members are convinced with the development projects taking place in the country under the leadership of the President, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. Alex Mangosi has the story being read by Musasi Jeo.
There was joy and jubilation at the MCP office in Mzuzu when 50 AFORD members were joining the Malawi Congress Party. Leader of the group, who is former AFORD National Deputy Director of Youth, Lapken Tindwa, said they want to support Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to accomplish his development agenda.
It's about development. It's about focus. This is a visionary party. That's what we're talking about. Visionary party, what does youth want? This one development. Where is the development we're talking about? It's about, what has done easy for the first time. There's only president in Malawi who's building us a youth center there. He was promoting the youth center. And I was talking about Mzuzu University. He wants to expound it. Mzuzu University. That's what we want as youth in Malawi.
Welcoming the group, MCP Regional Chairperson for the North-South, Joseph Chavula, said this means the party in the region is growing stronger day in, day out.
Very excited. Excited because we're growing as a party. Excited because people can see who Chakwera is in terms of development. Excited because politics is about numbers. So the numbers are adding up. We're welcoming new members into the party. They are convinced with the leadership of Dr. Lazarus Macarthur Chakwera.
The 50 defectors were holding different political positions in Afford at national, regional, district, and area levels.
Now back to our story. Over 2,000 school-going girls in Mangochi are expected to benefit from a menstrual health hygiene management project courtesy of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, Adra, Malawi. According to the country director for the humanitarian agency, Dennis Matekenya, the organization will, among other things, scale up efforts in educating girls in menstrual hygiene and reproductive health, saying this is key to improving attendance and performance of the girls in school. Owen Mavola has the details.
Menstrual health hygiene is said to be one of the issues that cause school dropout and absenteeism among young girls in early stages of their education. This is because most of them opt to stay home to take care of themselves, therefore missing out on important lessons in school. In view of this, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, Adra Malawi, is rolling out a 3 to 4 year project in Mangochi called Girls Empowerment and Menstrual Health Management, which is aimed at keeping girls in school longer to attain higher level of academic achievement. Country Director for the Humanitarian Agency, Dennis Matekenya, is of the view that more should be done in areas of girls' empowerment if the country is to attain effective human capital development, critical to national development.
One of which is that we'll be providing sanitary kits or sanitary pads that are reusable, that are durable, and that it will be a good thing for the girls to have. Most of the girls in the communities do not have access to decent or dignified sanitary wear. And with this project is providing that particular wear to enable girls to remain in school so that they don't lose out during that period when their friends are learning and they're out of school.
Deputy Director for School, Health, Nutrition, HIV and AIDS in the Ministry of Education, Maureen Maguza Tembo, hailed Adra for the intervention.
They thought it right first to work with the existing structures from the national level, actually, through the district level to the community level. And especially when we are working in the Ministry of Education, we work with the community structures because we understand the communities are the owners of the school. So when we are making different decisions pertaining to the running of the school, we rely on the communities.
Apart from raising awareness on menstrual health and hygiene management among girls, Adra will be providing reusable sanitary pads to girls in targeted schools. Owen Mavula, MBC, Mangochi.
And on a sad note, the body of the late Catholic priest, Father Claude Boucher Chisale, will be laid to rest today, at Moa Mission in Dedza. Boucher was a custodian of Malawian cultural heritage, died on Monday at Kamuzu Central Hospital in Lilongwe after a long illness. Our reporter Simon Boyce looks at the life of Father Chisale in this report.
Born in 1943, he came to Malawi in 1967 and was fluent in Chichewa, besides being an avid follower and a researcher of some local cultures. He was initiated into Walankhula of the Chewas, Nyau cart, as well as Yao and Ngoni cultures. The title Achisale was given to him when he was residing among the Ngoni people in Ncheu district as a way of integrating him into their society, and it denotes respect. Late Father Boucher Chisale established Kungoni Center of Culture and Arts with the aim of giving local kebas skills in a variety of artistic disciplines in a quest to improve their income and financial muscles. Spokesperson in the Office of President and Cabinet, Robert Kalindiza, who was mentored by late Father Chisale for 16 years, says his death has left an indelible mark in arts and cultural industry, having spearheaded a revolution in the preservation of arts and culture in the country.
Up is huge because the skills that Father Claude Boucher had were very unique, because they were coming from his blessings given by God. So nobody can copy that. But we are happy that in terms of the management, everything is okay. Father Claude Boucher has left Father Brendan O'Shea. I mean, on the Angozo. We call him Angozo. Father Boucher was known as Achisari, but now Father Brendan O'Shea is Angozo, and now he's the one handling everything at Kungoni Center of Culture and Art. Malawians must remember Father Claude Boucher Chagomelana Chisare as someone who left his life in Canada many years ago, and he made a decision that he's going to die in Malawi.
In 2017, Mzuzu University awarded him a honorary doctorate for his true missionary work, coached in education, training, ethnology, as well as making religion accessible. Simming Boys, NBC News, Blantyre.
Senior Chief Kambe of Palombe has died. According to the District Commissioner for Palombe, Douglas Moffat, the senior chief succumbed to a short illness last night. Moffat says the burial program will be announced soon. He speaks to our reporter, Geoffrey Jinawa.
I'm very sad to inform you that our senior chief Kambe has passed on. He hasn't been sick for quite some time. But currently, I should say that we are still liaising with the bereaved family to see, give us the details about how this arrangement is going to be. So once we have done right of that work to communicate.
May their souls rest in peace. And that item also concludes this edition of NBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. Visiting President of Mozambique, Dr. Filipe Nyusi, hails bilateral relations between his country and Malawi. Presidents Chakwera and Filipe Nyusi to open the 20th National Agriculture Fair at Chichiri Trade Fair Grounds in Blantyre this morning. And the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change recommend a reasonable increase in fuel prices. For more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms on Facebook, X, Instagram, and also our website, mbc.mw. You can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Abale. Thanks for watching and good morning.